Ladies and gentlemen, YouTube, Enclave members, Retroplex, wanderers from somewhere in the midst of nowhere, thank you for tuning in for a very special edition of the UnBoxening King of Fighters 14 edition. I was so stoked to get this game, and considering how my last video went with Street Fighter V, I was in a bit of a funk and that video did not come out well at all. I was pretty much unhappy. Suffice to say, I have avidly stalked King of Fighters. Anytime one of these games comes out, I'm usually on it. And I'm looking for information, tidbits, rumors, images, speculation, who's working on it, what characters are going to be at it. Literally, as soon as I was done with King of Fighters 13, I immediately started to look up information on KOF 14. It's like clockwork. I'm like an addict for this stuff. I've been a long-time SNK fighting fan for going on maybe close to 20 full actual years here. I got my start back playing Samurai Showdown and Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting all on the SNES. Those games totally rock. I know that Street Fighter II popularized and pretty much revolutionized fighting games, but there was always a lot in the SNK fighters, like Art of Fighting, that made them a little more progressive, and often I thought they were overlooked. Like the stamina spirit bar in Art of Fighting means that you can't spam fireballs all the time. You keep going for that Koken, you're not going to be able to pull that off. You got to get back and charge your fighting spirit, and then you got to razz your opponents. Yeah, all of that was cool. I'm not going to prattle on about that forever because I'm a total mark for this franchise. Anywho's, information about KOF 14, as I stated, I stalked. I hounded the internet for information regarding KOF 14. And I remember the first thing that I heard, they were going to deviate from the 2D sprites, which is a little unfortunate because I'd gotten used to the new sleek look that KOF 12 and 13 were utilizing. I figured that they were going to run with that. So, much to my dismay, I figured, well, alright, it's going to look like Maximum Impact, and stop bashing the Maximum Impact games. Those are good King of Fighters games. I hear it a lot. Oh, Maximum Impact is stupid. No. Maximum Impact was a solid game. It might not have suited well because whenever SNK ventured into 3D, it was always met with lukewarm, mixed with often negative reactions. But Maximum Impact was cool. I'm kind of sad that they never made a third one. So, flash forward here, they released the demo for this game a month ago. And I've never abused a demo this badly in probably close to 16 or 17 years. Maybe even longer than that. I think Resident Evil 2, I played that demo so many times that it never got old. I'll still play it every now and then because I still got the freaking disc for it. Getting my hands on this one, this game is slick. It's fluid, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. It's gonna probably be my game of the year. Probably will. And I didn't get that feeling when I played Street Fighter V, and this isn't going to be a Street Fighter bashing punk anything, but when that game came out, there was so much to be disappointed by that it was hard for me to feel happy about owning it. Yeah, I got the Ryu statue, and it looks pretty cool, but he's leaning. I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but I'm getting some Smooth Criminal vibes from this thing, and he's already fallen over twice. So while it still looks cool, it's probably the best thing about the box, because once I was done with the Shadow Fall story arc, I haven't played the game since. So, let me shut up, let me open this up, and we're gonna get started here. And, of course, there's always fun watching me fight with plastic. Why don't I ever bring a thing to like cut this with? Oh, this actually went smoothly this time. And I'm trying my best to cut down off any kind of light glare. In fact, give me a sec. Wrong way. Yeah, I think that's helping. Alright, so flap opens up from the bottom. First, I'm just gonna show all of this to you because, in case you didn't have it, or most of you who do have it, or you've probably seen other better unboxing videos by now, but yeah, I really love the artwork. That was another one of the initial things that took a little bit of me getting used to, is my boy Kyo got redesigned, and I guess they kind of went for a more B-shonen look for him, and the early images of him, I thought he looked a bit like Bayonetta's cousin. It was super girly, but he's gotten significantly better as the game went on. And that's another thing. Enough with the burying the visuals. It's a PS2 game. Yeah, they're not so hot stuff either. And the art book. I love a good art book. And I'm going to... Okay, you know what? I've got to think of cut this one. Making an ass out of myself here. Ow. Oh. Udon. Udon, who often does a lot of the Street Fighter artwork, or at least the Street Fighter comics, apparently did some work on this game. That I'm just learning today. Sweet. Yeah, it's got... I don't know if that's picking up on there. So... Oh, yeah, that's really cool looking. I don't know how that much is picking up. I should have came better prepared for things like this, but... That's just... Yeah, that's all looking pretty sweet. Geese! Drop it right there. See if I can get this to actually stay put this time around. Cool. Cellophane. Ah. King of Fighters official soundtrack. I still got my soundtrack from KOF 13, listened to it an awful lot, and the tunes that I've heard from this game, that's another thing that I've loved about King of Fighters. The music always puts me in the feeling that I'm standing in front of an arcade cabinet. It's the only game besides, like, Street Fighter remixes a lot of their familiar themes, and that's pretty cool and all, but, the KOF instrumentals just had, no matter how much they remix them or revise them, they always sound classic and not like out of date. It just has that like old school sound to it. Even when you're selecting things through the menu, it's always very cool to listen to. Yeah, this is it sort of opens up just like the ultimate soundtrack that came with KOF 13, and that is 3 full discs of music. My man Terry with his new look. I like his new look. It kind of looks like something that he might have worn in high school. And Angel, of course, returning, and Shun-Ai, or Shun-A, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'll probably get buried. Leave something in the comments below to let me know I'm saying that wrong. And that is the soundtrack. Oh, Sylvie! She's my favorite character. I love using her in the demo, and she's awesome. And there's a gorgeous picture of Mai aligning the outside of the box. And then there's the steel tin here. I'm a sucker for steel tins. What I'm not a sucker of is whenever they make the slip covers. I don't understand the purpose of slip covers. I mean, I guess they're supposed to look cool, but it's just something else to take off, and that always annoys me. There's no reason for slip covers. I'm sure they're neat, but it's just extra stuff. It's extra stuff that you really don't need. And it keeps me from getting to my game. And there's the game disc. Killer. And as far as steel tins go, it's actually actually feels a little bit lighter and more alloy-like compared to some other ones that I have. Because I've got one for Lost Planet here that feels a little heavier. It's got a lot more body to it. But I kind of understand why they want to do that. You know, but it looks pretty cool, and I love it. Hey, it's actually getting there to stay. Alright, excellent. So, we've got a soundtrack and the steel tin. Now, while it might not have been the big bundle that, again, Street Fighter V was, and I'd say maybe it should have come with a Kyo or something statue, that's not really all that much of a concern for me, because they're making Nindos of Kyo Kusanagi and Mai Shiranui. So, I'm hoping that that launches a new line of King of Fighters toys, because if there's something that I've been asking for the last decade, has been some new King of Fighters figures. That's another topic for another day. This is going to sum up this sort of shorter episode of the unboxing. Now, let's get to the gameplay. Thank you all, and see you later.